So a literal translation of John chapter 1, verses 1 and 2 would be, and the Word was face to face with, in intimate communion with God. That means the Word is someone other than God, meaning God the Father here, and has intimate communion with God the Father. So that means even before creation, the Word has fellowship with God the Father. Therefore, He's not God the Father. But at the same time, John says the Word was used by the Father to create everything. So John affirms Jesus, the Word, created everything, and at the same time, the Word is not the Father.
Okay, I get that. And my other point question that I had made when I brought this up was, in what form did Jesus exist? In what bodily form did He exist before He came down into incarnate into
Thank
human
you,
flesh?
Ronnie. Thank you. We're about to go to a break. Let's let Sam respond to that, and then we have to go to a break.
The question is, Jesus, if He wasn't, before He became flesh, did He have a bodily form of some kind? Or if He's God, what does that imply? So that's his question.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
Let Dr. White do it.
Well, since you two seem to know each other, I thought, especially he was asking about something you had said on Jesus or Muhammad, I thought I'd let you handle that one.
Real quickly, Ron, and Dr. White, I'm pretty certain is in agreement with me on here. God is spirit. By spirit, we mean that God is incorporeal, immaterial, non-physical. So God, by His very nature, doesn't occupy time and space. He's the creator of all time and space. So when you say what form that Jesus had before the incarnation, well, Jesus as God is spirit, meaning that by nature, as God, He's incorporeal, immaterial, non-physical. He doesn't have a form, because God by nature exists before all forms were created.
Now, by the way, real quickly, Sam, Ronnie might say this, but he might say, well, what about Philippians 2? Being in the form of God.
Dr. White, maybe you can comment. What does that mean to be in the form of God?
You haven't talked about Philippians 2 lately,
I haven't talked about
you?
Philippians 2 at all. We only spent all day on it. But the morphe tou theou, Jesus also takes on the morphe of a doulos, of a servant, there in Philippians chapter 2. The morphe is that which strikes the outward appearance. When I look upon Brother Joseph, I see a human in appearance. That which my eyes see communicate the inner reality. And the point of Philippians chapter 2 is that Jesus had always existed in the form of God, and He truly took on the form of a servant. Morphe would not there be a physical form in any way, shape, or form. It would refer to the very essence and being of God. He existed as God exists eternally, not just like a spirit, but in the very way that God Himself exists. And so the idea of asking, well, what form did Jesus have beforehand? Obviously, He could take form, just as God revealed Himself in Yahweh walks with Abraham by the oaks of Mamre in Genesis 18, and it was Jesus who was seen sitting upon the throne in Isaiah chapter 6, as we talked about earlier in the program. But those are revelations of God to us in a way we can understand. It is not a limitation of God's essence in any way.
Thank you very much. Thank you for answering Ronnie's questions and mine. And now we have to go to a break, and we'll be right back to hear your calls on Answering Islam after this short break.
If you have any questions, please visit our website at www.abnsat.com. Under the Webcast tab, you can view ABN's live streaming channels like Jesus or Muhammad, Youth TV, Apologetics, and more. We also encourage you to donate to our ministry. To do so, click on Donate to ABN under the main menu, then click on Donate button to make your donation. ABN greatly appreciates your help. If you are a user on Facebook, ABN will be happy to add you as a friend. Simply search ABN Sat and add us as a friend. After doing so, send and we will approve your request. ABN loves to add new members, so find us and we hope to see you soon.
Praise the Lord, and welcome back to Answering Islam with Dr. James White, Brother Sam Shimon, and you, our dear viewers. We've got some callers on the line. This is the last half hour of the show, so why don't we go directly to our callers. We'd like to welcome the next one on the air right now. Welcome, you're on the air with Answering Islam.
Hello.
Hello, welcome to our program.
Good evening, guys.
Good evening. Go right ahead.
Okay. I want to just not comment, but I got a couple of questions.
Go for it.
One at a time.
In Matthew, it said that Jesus born and from Mary, and he story about him, and it said that he ran away to Egypt. And Luke never mentioned that he ran away, but he went to the church, to the temple of the Jewish.
Yeah.
Which one the story? And the other two stories never mention anything of Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Which one of the story right? Did he go to Egypt, or he did stay in Bethlehem and went to the temple to let the priest see him?
Okay,
So
good. That's a good question, Tony. Thank you. We're going to answer that. The short answer is all of them are right. But Brother Sam, Dr. White, would you like to? Go ahead, Sam.
The thing is, number one, the topic is on the deity of Christ. However, even though it's not related to the topic, if Dr. White wants to comment, because he's assuming that the gospel writers give us an exhaustive account of the life of Christ as opposed to summarizing accurately events in the life of Jesus. But again, just for the audience to realize, the topic is the deity of Christ, the Trinity, not whether the Gospels contradict. However, if Dr. White wants to take that question, that's up to him.
Yeah, I would just repeat what Sam said, but I would just add to that the fact that the assumption, first of all, I find it a little bit offensive when someone says Jesus ran away. He was a child. I've actually had one Islamic apologist. I hesitate to use the term of him, but he's been on ABN here a couple of times. Who accuses Jesus of cowardice for running away to Egypt when he was an infant.
2 or less.
Yeah, he was an infant. Brilliant. But it's not a matter of running away. It was a matter of being warned in a dream. And I think it's simply allowing these historical sources to stay in their context and recognize that they don't give us they're not meant to be exhaustive. Any exhaustive account would have been too large to produce, let alone copy or carry. So Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and John each have to make a decision concerning the level of detail that they are going to include for their audience. Now, Matthew is addressing one particular group, Luke addressing a different group, and so they address different aspects, especially of the early period of Jesus' life. But notice the either-or form of the question.
Right.
Which one's the true one? And the answer is they both are. And so I just recommend that, since this is one of the most common ways of attacking the Bible today, Bart Ehrman makes this very, very much a part of his criticism, that individuals take the time to obtain, if you don't have good Bible software, which almost all the good Bible software programs today have a synoptic section, a harmony of the Gospels, whatever else it might be. I have one here. I use Accordance Bible software. I just clicked on synoptics. I can bring all of the synoptic parallels up right in front of me. But at least get hold of a good harmony of the Gospels so you can compare these things for yourself. And you might have to do some work. I have been teaching through the Synoptic Gospels now at PRBC for about 7 years. And we're just now getting toward Passion Week.